Veterans, what if I told you that just a portion of your 70% VA disability compensation could be turned into more than $2 million of tax-free retirement income? Not by filling out a new claim, not by taking on more risk, and not by working a single extra year, but simply by repositioning money that you're already receiving every single month. So today, I'm walking you through step by step a real case study of how we helped a 45-year-old veteran, married, earning $85,000 a year and receiving 70% VA disability compensation to set himself up for a comfortable, tax-free retirement starting at age 66. And the best part? He didn't need to spend any extra money. He simply redirected a portion of the VA compensation that he was already getting. So I'm Dan Farnsworth, retired naval officer and founder of VictoryX Financial. Let's get into it. So here's this veteran's situation. So he receives $19.08 every month tax-free from his 70% VA disability rating. Now, he doesn't need the full amount to live on. His civilian salary covers his lifestyle, but he wants to retire at 65 with confidence. He wants predictable income, he wants tax-free income, and he wants to protect his family from the unexpected. Now, he also plans to take Social Security at age 65, and like most veterans, he's not interested in risky investments or anything complicated, right? He wants something simple, something that's proven and tax-free. So he came to us and he said, how can I use part of my VA disability compensation to build real retirement income? Now, our answer was straightforward. We reposition $1,000 a month into a max-funded indexed universal life policy, one that's designed specifically for long-term tax-free retirement income. Now, let's talk about how this strategy works. So the policy is engineered under IRS Code 7702. And this is what allows tax-free compounding and tax-free income. Now, structure is everything because when designed properly, insurance costs are minimized and the cash value growth is maximized. So for this veteran, we set a starting death benefit at $175,000. Now that keeps the insurance costs extremely low so that most of his contribution goes directly into cash value. And from there, his money grows based on an index, which is similar to the S&P 500, except with a 0% floor. And that means that he cannot lose money. If the market drops, let's say 20%, he gets 0%. But if the market rises, he participates in the upside. And over time, these policies typically average about 7 to 9% growth. Because of how we structure it, all the growth is tax deferred, and all the income he takes later is tax-free. And even better, he can borrow against the policy for cars, vacations, emergencies, even investments, anything. His cash value continues compounding as if none of it left the account. So his money literally works in multiple places at the same time. Now let's walk through the numbers. So starting at age 45, he begins repositioning $1,000 per month, that's $12,000 a year, into the policy. And he continues this from age 45 to age 65. So that's 20 years. So in total, he redirects $240,000 of VA compensation. And that was money he was already receiving anyway. Now at age 65, the policy is projected conservatively to have about $512,000 in cash value. The projected death benefit at that point is around $651,000. So he puts in $240,000 and he ends up with more than $500,000 in protected tax-free cash value. No market losses, no taxes, no stress. Now, at age 65, he stops contributing. And at age 66, he turns on his tax-free income. So beginning at age 66, he can take approximately $45,000 per year tax-free for life. And because the withdrawals are structured as policy loans, they're completely tax-free forever. There's no credit check, no bank, no repayment requirement. He simply submits the request online, and the money is deposited directly into his bank account every month. Now, meanwhile, his cash value continues compounding in the background as if none of the money had been touched. And that's the real power of a properly designed IUL. Now, on top of this, he continues receiving his full disability compensation, which is about $23,000 a year. And because he starts Social Security at 65, he adds approximately $22,000 a year on top of that. So at age 66, here's his total annual retirement income. He's got $45,000 tax-free from the policy, plus around $23,000 from VA disability, plus another $22,000 from Social Security. So that puts his total retirement income at approximately $90,000 per year with no taxes due. Now let's forecast the long-term totals if he lives to age 85. So over 20 years, he'll receive about $900,000 of tax-free income from the policy, and he'll also receive approximately $458,000 in VA disability income. Now you add another $440,000 in Social Security benefits, and when he passes, his family will still receive roughly $344,000 in tax-free death benefit. Add that all together, and the total value of his retirement system is approximately $2.1 million. And when you factor in the taxes he avoids compared to withdrawing from, let's say, a 401k or TSP, his net equivalent benefit is close to $2.5 million. And remember, he only repositioned $240,000 of VA compensation money that he didn't need to live on. All right, now let's compare that to doing nothing, right? So if he simply spends his VA compensation and just waits for Social Security from age 66 to age 85, he'd receive about $458,000 of VA disability and about $440,000 of Social Security. So that's roughly $898,000 or about $44,900 per year. And when he dies, his family receives zero, no legacy, no tax-free inheritance, absolutely nothing. By simply repositioning just $1,000 of his VA disability compensation, which is only about 30%, he nearly triples his retirement income. He leaves behind a significant tax-free death benefit. He creates generational wealth, and he protects his family from financial uncertainty. So if this is making sense and you're seeing the power of this strategy, take a second and hit that like button and tap subscribe and turn on the notifications, because every week we release new strategies that are designed specifically for veterans and military families. And if you want to see what your own VA disability compensation could do for your retirement, whether your rating is higher or lower, book your free 30-minute RETIREMAX Elite Blueprint call. So the link is on the screen and it's in the description below. It costs nothing. There's zero pressure, and you'll walk away with a personalized plan that shows exactly what tax-free retirement income that you can create. Look, you wrote a blank check to this country. Now, let's make your VA check write one to your family. So I'm Dan Farnsworth with Victory X Financial. Stay sharp, stay ready, and I'll see you in the next video.